Okay, here we are. We just got a submission back from HGA. This was a 10-day submission. It's 4 cards. We're gonna go through it and see what kind of grades we got, me and my son. HGA, when it first started, you couldn't find out your grade until you got it in the mail, so it was a truly blind reveal. But starting with this submission, they have now changed their website and you can see what your cards grade if you choose to before you get them. I was too anxious and I looked to see. My son doesn't know, so it's gonna be a surprise to him. Here's some other cards that we've had graded that we'll look at and kind of compare. This here, PSA, the classic style with the red, the 10 Ja Morant, their optic base card. You can see the way they look and the way others look. That case is a little thinner. Here's one I just got back, a few weeks ago from a BGS, been there since January. So I sent it in the end of January and I got it back, I think 2 weeks ago, which would have been mid-September. Pretty pleased with what I got on this one here. This Kobe Bryant 9.5 Fleer metal, 9.5 edges, centering, corners, and a 9 on surface. I didn't know what this was the first card I submitted to a grading company. I'd had cards for years and never really thought about submitting them, just have kept them put away. And again this year I decided I'd start getting some graded to see what I had. This one, as a matching one that's currently at PSA, I sent some to PSA and some to BGS, and I've been sending a lot to HGA here recently. Mainly because the turnaround is so much faster and I can get my cards back. But this one here was really surprised because I didn't know what to expect and how well they graded, how hard they graded. So I thought I did pretty good for one of my first cards to ever send in there with a 9.5 Geo Mint from Beckett there. And here's one that I got back from HGA. I've done a few submissions with them. This will be my first reveal video, but this was the Alex Morgan Select Equalizers. It geometed at 9.5. Even had a 10 on centering, 9.5 on surface, and 9 on corners and edges. So that was a big one. I liked it. And I went with the Team Splash background. I think it looks pretty good. Don't you guys, Quinn? Mm-hmm. So it looks pretty good, doesn't it? It's a good looking card. It's a nice case. I like the cases. Yeah, I really like the HGA, everything about them. I hope they really take off and get going, because I like what they're doing with the AI as far as helping to grade. And this one here is my baby. This one, as you can see, is a Jerry Rice 1986 rookie card, 9.0 mint. It had a 10 on corners, so 110 and 3 9s. Had this card since the late 90s. My current wife, girlfriend at the time, bought it for me for my birthday from a local card shop. And I've just had it in a plastic top loader sleeve in a safe ever since then. So I'd take it in and get it graded. And I actually have a couple more that I've purchased since then that are at HGA. I have a couple at PSA, so we'll see what those do when those come back. PSA, who knows, they'll be back. They've been there since January. I think they're 4 or 5 months behind now. I've got another one at HGA, I think is due back next week. So we'll look and see how good we did. I sent 2 in. This one was a 10-day, the other one was 30. And I actually thought I thought they were pretty close to the same, so we'll see how close they get. Never gonna sell this card, so I didn't see the point in paying the extra price for PSA. One day, if someone that I pass it down to decides to sell it and they won't, and PSA is still the top dog and they want to cross it over, then they're free to do that. But I knew I was never going to sell it, so I went with the HGA, and I'm very pleased with what I have there. So now, on to the reveal of these 4 cards. And these cards is 2 Joe Burrows. One is a select field level orange die cut. One is a optic blue scope Joe Burrow, and then we have a LaMelo Ball Donruss orange laser, and we have a Anthony Edwards Select. It's the Concourse edition. It's one of the cracked ices. I think it's purple and something. I can't remember. We'll have to see when we get in here. Just one second. Let's see once we get into this box here. As I said, my son has not seen these, so he doesn't know. Try to keep them hidden from him. And I was too weak to not look. I enjoyed not knowing and opening them truly blind and being surprised, but when I got the email and I saw that they do now have the cards listed on there, I was too weak not to look. I told myself I wasn't going to look, but then I did look. So we need to turn these over this way, and we will. This one they wrapped in paper. Let's see. Hang on. So here are the cards. The first one is the Anthony Edwards. Hang on a second. Is the Anthony Edwards Concourse Prism. I can't remember which cracked ice it is, but I sent in to see. Now looking, I think that corner may be a little bad, so I don't really know what we got here. So go ahead and turn around and see what we get. We get a 9. That, hang on a second, my daughter. You feed her and go.
Feed her and go.
So got a 9 on Anthony Edwards. The corner actually got a 9.5. The surface 9.5, but the centering got a 9. It looked pretty centered to me. It is a little off left to right. It looks like you can see on these if you look at the corners, and this spot here kind of fits on center. But top to bottom looks pretty good. I think you go by the space below the name, the space there, and the edges got a 9. So that's not too bad. The back's a little off too, but I'll take a 9.0 on the Anthony Edwards. That's the one in the PC collection anyway. So 9.0 with the Anthony Edwards. Next we have the LaMelo Ball. This would be the, he's trying to peek around. This would be the orange laser Donruss. This one I wasn't real sure about. I thought there was a spot on the surface that may hurt it. Can't remember now what the grades were, subgrades when I looked at them. But I thought this was a pretty good looking card. So let's see what we get on this one. The LaMelo Ball. Boom! 9.5. Went with a splash to match the card. Thought about matching the team, but I wouldn't match the card. And I'm starting to grow fond of just the neutral colors that match. I just like the classic look. I know a lot of people go with the custom labels, and to me it's just too much on there. So the 9, yeah, the surface got a 9, so I knew the surface was a little iffy. The edge is 9.5, centering 10, so there's a 10, and that corner's got a 9. And I can see that corner there's a little off. There's the spot. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little spot right there on the surface that I was concerned about, and it did get a 9 for the surface. The back looks pretty good, but overall a 9.5. We'll take that, and that one may be going up on eBay soon, so you can check for a LaMelo Ball 9.5 on eBay. I may list that one. Next we have a Joe Burrow. This is the Donruss Optic. I think it's the orange laser, if I remember right. I didn't really know what to expect on this card. I've been lucky so far. Most every card I've sent graded has been 9 or higher. The lowest I have is an 8.5 from HGA on an old Kevin Garnett, but I said that was a PC anyway, so I didn't really care. The rest of them have been 9s and 9.5. I've yet to find a 10 in HGA, but we're still looking for one. So let's see, Joe Burrow, 9. It's a little disappointing. I was hoping to have the 8.5 on edges. Really killed it. The edges didn't look that bad to me. I don't know what they see on the edges, at least the front. Looks good. I know they grade the back pretty hard. They grade the back pretty hard as well. Corners 9.5, centering 9.5, so those were good. I don't know about the edges. At 8.5 on edges is, I don't see it, but overall take a 9. That may just stay in the personal collection for a while. And the last is another Joe Burrow. This is the die cut field level orange field level die cut Joe Burrow. I'm not sure how they grade corners on this one, if they grade 1, 2, 3, 4, or if they count each side as a corner. But and these, most of the time on like these cards here, you can pretty much tell the centering because it's got a true border. This one's got a true border. So centering you can tell quite easily on those, and there's even tools you can get that help you with that. But these, I'm not real sure. They don't have a true border. I'm not real sure how they do it. But let's see what we got on the Joe Burrow field level. Boom, 9.5, and it's got the neutral match the card. I think it looks great. a 10 on edges, 9.5 on centering, so the centering was good. I'm assuming they go by the bottom here and what's above select for top to bottom centering. Left to right, I'm going to assume the rookie card symbol and his name have to line up. Probably the same distance there as from the edge to the S of the select would be my guess as far as how they'd look at the centering on here. The edges with a 10, so that's great. Surface 9.5, corners with a 9. I wish they would tell me exactly what it was about the corner that they didn't like, because those corners look at least 9.5 to me. I mean, I don't even see any white on any of them. Maybe a little bit there, maybe. I don't know enough to knock it all the way down to a 9. But look for that one. I may list that one as well on eBay. Try to make my money back from grading them and keep the others in the collection. So once again, that was a 9 Anthony Edwards, and it was the blue, white, purple cracked ice with a neutral match the card. I think it looks really good. One day that may be a crossover, because that's some pretty good scores on that one. The LaMelo Ball orange laser from Don Russ. Looks good. It's 9.5. Had a 10 subgrade, so that's a really nice card. That may go up for sale on eBay. This Joe Burrow optic. I think Joe Burrow's going to end up having one of the better careers between him and Justin Herbert. I could be wrong. They both play on teams. It's going to have to really get some people around them to make them better. But I like Joe Burrow's chances, so I may hang on to this one. Not happy with that 8.5 on the edges, so I may just hang on to it. And last, the Joe Burrow field level orange die cut 9.5 with a 10 subgrade. So that was a pretty good one there. The corners hurt us. Not sure where, but even if it had been a 9.5 corners, the grade would have still been 9.5. I mean, even with a 10. So 9.5 was about as well as that was going to get without a couple 10s somewhere else. So that was a pretty good one. So thanks for watching. Also, we're going to, next week I have a Jerry Rice I'm going to send in, and we're going to compare it to this Jerry Rice before I send it. We'll put it on 10-day, and we'll see if we can guess what the grade will be when it comes back in. But so this tune back. Next week I've got a couple submissions coming due. So when we get those in, we'll do the video and upload them as well. Thank you.